Welcome to the Math Adoption Committee March Loopout. As you may know, we met on February 28 to review data and to start our work to come to consensus. One of the first things we did was use our voting tool to see which norm we wanted to focus on. As you can tell, keeping students at the heart of our work was a critically important part for our committee. One of the first things we reviewed on February 28 was the process we had used to narrow down to our two field test choices. This included looking at rubrics and state reports regarding tight alignment to the Common Core state standards. We did not consider a curriculum unless it had filtered through this stage first. As the evening progressed, we looked at 6 data points, 4 pieces of comparison data from our 2 field tests, and teacher survey feedback, as well as parent feedback from our Citizens Advisory Committee. As you will see in this slide, we used the Equipped tool. It's a CCS alignment tool for lesson study. Committee members filled out 2 equips for each field test curriculum, and on February 28 compared those summary scores of both curricula. We then looked at our own SPS criteria tool, which had been filled out for both field test curricula. During our field tests, committee members had divided themselves into vertical K-5 grade level groups and had discussions around both field test opportunities. They were then able to work through a summary poster from those conversations on February 28. Many of you filled out a survey that gave MAC members valuable information regarding what you felt was important. After looking at all of these data points, committee members then had a time to share out strengths and weaknesses of each curriculum before coming to a consensus vote. As you may have probably already heard, when it came time for the consensus vote, our first vote reached above our 88% need, and a 90% of our committee voted to recommend Bridges to our board of directors. And in the second slide, you can see 100% voted to support this consensus vote. So what were the things that convinced the committee that Bridges was the best curriculum for our students? Listed here are just a few of the reasons MAC members stated as to why they voted the way they did. Notice the student is at the center of every consideration. This shows where Bridges is being implemented in the United States. We are not alone in our well-researched recommendation. Here are just a couple teacher quotes regarding Bridges. Bridges is a brain-friendly program that helps students make connections from one subject to another by using developmentally appropriate activities. Kindergarten teacher. Bridges is the best program I've ever had the privilege of being a part of in my 30-year teaching career. And one more for you. The visual models as Bridges are one of its huge strengths. They help all children understand the math concepts, students who might otherwise struggle with the content, and those ready for a challenge of generalizing the math concepts to larger numbers and different situations. Students have also expressed how they feel about their learning. Thank you so much for bringing math tools. I learned so much and have fun. Thank you for the math tools. My favorite math tool is Snap 10 because it gets cards so you can play Snap 10. We are dedicated to keeping you up to date and have several strategies which will support this. Our committee work isn't done. We met last night to hear feedback from current Bridges experiences and to explore additional items to add to our FAQ. One document that will be critical is a frequently asked questions document. It will be critical to answering any questions you may have. It is located under Curriculum Connections, Math Resources. A link is also provided in this email. As I am sure you are anxious to know, when am I getting my material and when can I get training? We will do everything we can to make sure teachers have materials before school is out. Also attached in this email is a PDF giving the dates and a link to the Professional Development Catalog so you can register for the class you are interested in. Register early to be sure you get the date that works best in your schedule. Finally, be sure to give the committee member from your school a big thank you. And thank you to each of you for your commitment to supporting Spokane Public Schools in mathematics. As always, don't hesitate to check the FAQ or to email me if you have questions.